Hello and welcome back for another playthrough video. So, funny story is I actually did a video last week. I recorded my playthrough of this already, but I actually slightly cut into the window of the video because I had to resize it a little bit. I guess maybe I'd stretched the window or something, and there was like a little bit of letterboxing that was kind of messing with the stream, or at least the way it appeared. But yeah, so turns out I think I had to just trash the whole playthrough. That's unfortunate because I had a lot to say about this game. Yeah, but anyway, I'll just give it another honest shot. This game, Mega Man X3, this one always felt really special to me because this was, of course, along with the other Super Nintendo games, they all kind of hold a special place in my heart for being the games that exposed me to the whole Mega Man franchise, pretty much at least through Mega Man X. But then this one I felt like especially was evading me over the years because I remember seeing it at a GameStop in the early 2000s, and it was selling for about 70 bucks, which to little kid me that sounded like a lot of money because at that time a lot of the games were being sold for around $30 to $40, $50 or so, depending on what you get. You know, like your handheld games would be like $30, and then of course PlayStation 2, GameCube, you know, 40, 50 or so, give or take. But yeah, that just sounded like a lot of money to me, which is laughable now, of course, considering how much more the price has gone up over the years. But yeah, I remember hunting for it ever since that time and wanting to get it so badly. And I think my mom was also trying to help me at that time. I even went to a summer camp at one point, and I think in the letter my mom wrote me about still trying to find this game, you know, Mega Man X3. So it just felt like something that evaded me for a very long time, and it was something that I wouldn't get until about, I think, May 2012. Yeah, but besides that, I guess there was also the Mega Man X collection for the PS2, so that was at least one way I could play it. Actually, I had it for the GameCube first, but I later switched it out for the PS2 version just because I wanted to play it on the PS2 controller. But yeah, so always really liked this game. I rented it at least a couple times. I played it at my dad's apartment in the mid-late 90s or so. And I also played it at my grandparents' house at a later point. I think I rented it from Hollywood Video. But yeah, a lot of good memories with this game. And I always really like the soundtrack of this one because I just like the atmosphere. You know, even in this intro, it just sounds very troubled. Like, you know, this big enemy you're combating against seems unstoppable and evil. Good old title sequence. I don't think I sat through the intro for the other two games. But yeah, just kind of had a lot to say about this one.
Nice.
And I have plenty more to say, of course, going in, so it's enough sitting around rambling. Let's jump right in. I also fixed up, hopefully, the video quality as well. I kind of wasn't fond of how my videos were coming out previously, so hopefully that's fixed here. I think that's part of the trouble. Last time when I recorded, is I forgot to fix that up a number of times, but now I've finally addressed it. Hopefully it's a lot cleaner this time.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, it's hard to see just this opening with X and Zero popping into the battlefield like that. Every time I always think about the first time I rented this game. Played it in a small apartment somewhere in Vista, California. It's just the way it goes. Pretty straightforward level. But there is a twist. Suddenly we meet this character. And yeah, I'm not going to bother to read the dialogue for the most part. So this confused me. When I was a kid and I first played this, X gets captured, gets pulled away, and of course this guy disappears. Then suddenly Zero pops in. I just kind of sat here with Zero standing there and the music playing. I thought I was still in a cutscene and I didn't realize, oh, I get to play as this character. So I just thought that was really cool. Yet another thing about this game that just really impressed me. Getting to play Zero is just such a really cool thing that I'm really glad got to become a staple to the series. Even though they did kind of change up the playstyle with Zero using his Z-Saber. But I do really appreciate them including him here, like this. And very quickly we dispose of Mac.
So long, sucker!
Pretty easy.
Cool.
So X gets saved. It gets to kind of introduce you to the concept somewhat of being able to switch between X and Zero. But it is pretty limited just how much you can play as Zero. And it's not immediately apparent that you can actually call him. Well, I guess it kind of is. Well, you get the idea a little bit later. Here's our first boss we saw in the intro. I really like how these old games, they just kind of do things like change the background and make it red. No apparent reason, it's just, boss battle. It's good enough reason. Change the visuals. Oh, he's almost gone. There we go. Once again, it's really funny just seeing such a huge robot like that. And to think that they go down in so few hits. X had so much trouble with that ride armor in the first game. Now he's just taking down all these big robots like they're nothing. Yeah, this is the part where he said that, yeah. Zero saying, call me later if you need me. I guess maybe that's kind of the hint.
Huh?
That you could technically just call him in the pause menu. Here's our boss screen. Kind of nice to get a good clear view of the enemies. All the Mavericks. I wasn't too fond of the flickering screen of the previous game. But anyway. Here we go. I'm going for a Blizzard Buffalo first. Funny thing about all the boss intros and all the X games, usually you have to sit through them. In this game you actually can skip past it. And I know this game does get criticized, at least by fans of the Mega Man X series. I feel like there are various reasons why people do that. Some of the ones I'm aware of, at least, I know this game has a lot of backtracking in it if you don't know where to find everything. I know they all kind of have that going on usually, but I feel like people have said that a lot about this one, how it's kind of hard to get it in such a way that you kind of reduce that backtracking, but it is possible to do it in such a way that you only need to backtrack once, which is actually pretty interesting. But unfortunately it does involve fighting a lot of the Mavericks without their weaknesses. So, I don't mind it personally. I think it's really fun the way they mix things up in this game. And I could have chosen to take that path, but I just want to play this in the most typical fashion that I usually do. And I usually like to go with Blizzard Buffalo first, yeah. Almost got tongue-tied again. So we get our first capsule. It's the leg part, once again. Good old ice levels with the leg part. Just like Show Penguin. I do really like this one because just like X2 you have the mid-air dash, but then you can also have that ability to just dash straight up in the air. I'm going to go back here and see. Should be. Yeah, there we go. Try to clear out the enemies before I go for this. Nice. Really like this music, by the way. I actually really appreciate the whole soundtrack. Wish I could remember the composer who actually did it, though. Alright, here we go. On to the boss battle. Of course, you may have noticed also earlier in the level, I went through some boss doors and there was nothing there. That's actually going to become important later. You'll see. Because similar to Mega Man X2, when you had to fight the X-Hunters, you're going to have some new enemies that you have to fight here. And they actually can't be avoided this time, so maybe that's another part of why some people weren't too fond, is just because it kind of drags things out a little bit, maybe, if you don't have a choice. Also, you can see there's a very easy way to cheese this boss. I was using the leg upgrade to show that off. I'll let him do his normal attacks though. Come on. Throwing the ice out. He shot that huge ice beam earlier. Yeah, that'll freeze me. Then it'll just ram into me and cause a lot of damage. Yeah, unfortunately, he has very few attacks, so he's pretty easy to take down.
Bye-bye.
Here we go again with the slow explosions. Gives me some time to rest my hands if I'm just doing too much in this game. It's really fun to rush through these games, honestly, for me personally. Even if I'm not going super fast, like in regard to speed running, you know. I'm just kind of casually running through this game.
Oh yeah!
And even to this day, honestly, since I've actually gotten the cartridge sometime 2012, it still feels unbelievable that I actually have it. It just kind of seemed like something that was always going to be out of reach. It kind of reminds me of the days of renting games from Blockbuster and Hollywood Video that I was so used to not having. They were just kind of games that were always rentals. Here we go. Like, I always felt that about a game like Super Mario Kart, for example. It was a game that I rented more than once, I'm sure, and I even played it at a friend's house, but for some reason I just never had it for a long time until probably like mid-late 2000s. But yeah, that game certainly is much easier to get a hold of. It was just kind of one of those things. Just didn't have it for some reason. Yeah, I just really enjoyed the soundtrack for this whole game. I don't think there are really any songs that I don't like, other than maybe I would say that Dr. Light music could have been a little better. But not a big deal. Kind of hard to top the music from the first game. I think that had the best Dr. Light theme. It just feels so iconic. Whoops. Fire in the wrong direction. Me and my friend Freezing Ice Kirby, we have so much fun playing this game together. We actually stream it to each other. And we come up with different rules, like, you know, we've gotten all the parts and played through the game, or we do it with just fewer parts, you know, we just kind of make up all these different rules, different ways to play the game, and we just have a lot of fun with it. And recently we actually had fun playing it with, I think, a Game Genie code. We just did it just to mix things up even further, and play with the Z-Saber, which just tears through all the enemies in the game. So it was really funny, and it literally just took like around 30 minutes to get through this whole game as a result of that. Yeah, some of these stages also have these mid-bosses, and once again they also take a while to explode. Anything good? Nope. Just moving on. Oh yeah, by the way, when you do call Zero, if you do decide to call him at any point, he is pretty limited in how you use him, because whenever you approach a boss door, it'll just automatically switch to X, because I guess X is the only one you can use to go through the boss doors. Even if there is no real boss to fight, kind of like those empty rooms, it still kind of turns into that, I guess. I think so, anyway. But it is pretty cool, because there's also a ROM hack where some people made it so you can actually play as Zero through the whole game if you want to, which me and my friend have done before. It's just really cool, all the different ways to play this game.
Yeah!
Oh yeah, so here's this guy. I always remember having trouble with him as a kid. This is one of those instances where I remember my family kind of watching me struggle with this. I was visiting Long Beach and I rented it when I was visiting my grandparents. Whoops. Oh yeah, by the way, I do have his weakness. I could just use that if I want to. Oh, unless he does that. Just wait for him to rematerialize. Go ahead, jump on it. Just conk him with the ice.
Nice. All right.
It is pretty interesting too because this game, I almost forget to mention, there's also a PlayStation version of this game. And they do actually change the music out. Like the music and sound effects are different, even though the game is graphically the same, I think, mostly. But they do also include some animated cutscenes, which include the boss intros when you select any of the Mavericks. There's a few other parts that also have a cutscene. It is pretty interesting, but I do prefer the original Super Nintendo soundtrack. I just feel like that fits the atmosphere better, because some of the music renditions found a little bit jazzy, and I don't always feel like that fits, but some of them are actually pretty nice. I actually do like them. It's like the kind of thing you would want to listen to, like to relax, but not really play or hear in an action-packed setting. So anyway, here's our main villain, Dr. Doppler. He summons two of his henchmen to go hunt down X. And now there's a mysterious third one, which you can see clearly is Vile from the first game returning. Felt like a pretty big deal to finally get past Toxic Seahorse as a kid, because he was pretty tough for me. And I don't know if I remembered or if I learned that ice was his weakness or frost shield. Either way, I remember it was always kind of tough getting through some of these bosses. So I have a number of options. Probably going to go with this guy next. I feel like he's a pretty good option. You'll see why in a little while. So we have this guy, Crushed Crawfish. Actually, funny thing is, I do have these little collectible Mega Man X3 figurines. I don't know who put them out. It might have been maybe Bandai or something. They're pretty old, from the 90s, of course. And they were something that I got off eBay, I think, in the early 2000s. Because as a kid, I just, I was very much into all the Mega Man stuff. And I'm pretty sure I looked around online and I found out about those figurines they had. And I was pretty much asking my parents for them, so they got it for me.
Yippee!
Oh, here we go. So now that we've had that little sequence with the cutscene, now we get to fight Bit and Byte. They appear randomly on these levels, so it's not always guaranteed they'll show up right away. I think usually within the first few levels or so, Bit will show up, and then after that, at some point, Byte will show up. And then Vile actually is someone that you fight only if you happen to find one of the secret capsules where he's hidden away. So you are kind of forced to fight Bit and Byte, but Vile isn't required to fight. Whoops, I timed that wrong. Whoops. Even further. Try not to repeat myself. Nope. Oh yeah, you could actually technically destroy either of these bots with their weakness. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, if you use Frost Shield to defeat him. Then he blows up here.
Oh, you know, baby, light him up.
So you could actually destroy Bit and Byte early on, but otherwise if you let them live, you'll face them again later in the last stages. Took a lot of hits there, actually. But yeah, going back to the little figurines, I actually do have... well, I used to have them, and then I actually gave them away, because I gave away like a box of toys to my cousins. And then I kind of regretted that I gave those away. Well, I don't regret that I gave those away, in the sense that I'm glad that my cousins have them, but it did kind of become a thing where I was like, oh, maybe I should have kept those. Whoa, that was really close.
Ouch!
But yeah, I ended up getting them again later, so it doesn't really matter. Just kind of have them sitting neatly on one of my shelves. Just a cool nerd decoration. Oh, up dash failed somehow. Let's see. Oh no. There we go.
Woohoo!
Heard it said that using that frost shield, there's a good chance if you use it on a normal enemy that they might drop a health capsule. So far it's proven to be pretty true. It doesn't always happen, but it does seem to be something that you can rely on if you really need health in this game, which is kind of interesting. So this guy kind of dashes back and forth, and he shoots these weird little things out. They actually just knock you off the wall. So I just like to bait him back and forth by doing this, so that he does that little claw move where he reaches across, because he thinks I was just there. I don't actually have his weakness right now, but I actually find him easier to fight without his weakness, so it doesn't really matter. He's pretty simple too, so oops.
Ouch!
There I go again. Of course, the moment I said that. Not too bad though.
No problem.
I also remember one of my childhood friends actually had all the Mega Man games for the Super Nintendo. Or at least, you know, the main games. Not Mega Man Soccer. That always seems to be the game that not a whole lot of people talk about. I've never played it myself, but yeah, I think I remember seeing it at least once at a Hollywood Video. But it wasn't the Hollywood Video that we typically went to back then. It was like somewhere out of town. I happened to see it. But yeah, don't hear a whole lot about that one. But my friend who had it, I do remember sometimes I did borrow Mega Man X2 and X3 from him. So I think that might have been like the first time I beat the game. I was probably borrowing it from him and just kind of having time with it. So anyway, we're going to this guy next. This time I do have his weakness, but it's not totally necessary for me to have it. Tunnel Rhino. Sadly, he's pretty easy as well. Like the mood of this music. Oh.
Ouch!
Wow, just a lot of damage. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Crushed Crawfish, his weapon is actually really useful. Let's see here. It's a very strong weapon.
Now I'm packing.
Just cancel out enemies here and there. There we go.
Yeehaw!
I mean, energy tank. Sure, why not? Bite's definitely not going to show up for these next couple of stages, I would think. But after that, I think maybe it'll be random, whether he shows up or not. Those enemies are pretty annoying, those ones. It's the way they shoot those out at you. It was pretty entertaining playing X2 and just seeing how much I had my random moments where I would just blunder. But this is a game that I know pretty well, and I don't think there are a whole lot of places where I struggle in this game. Which I was just kind of thinking, you know, it's maybe a little bit unfortunate, just in terms of, well, just how entertaining it can be playing through these games. I do really enjoy it, even if I feel I can get through this game pretty easily. I still have a lot of fun with it, you know. There's nothing wrong with playing games that are just kind of easy to breeze through here and there. It does require a lot of attention and input, but I just really enjoy my time with this game. Honestly, I feel like the Mega Man X trilogy for the Super Nintendo, they're some of my all-time favorites. And I've said that before, but I do kind of feel like maybe just a little bit, I feel like if I had to choose one, it would probably be X3. Just because I've played this one so much. Whoa. Okay, that's not so nice. No. Yeah, this guy's always a jerk. But I guess it's not really a big deal. Once again, this boss, not really a problem. Of course, watch me eat my words. does have maybe a little bit of a trick to him. You'll see, maybe. He very typically likes to charge back and forth, but sometimes he kind of baits you. Like he'll charge and stop and then turn around. So, yeah, like that. Thank you for demonstrating that.
Yippee!
Yeah, not a whole lot to his attacks, so you're not missing a whole lot by me using his weakness. Oh, look at you. You can't shoot him when he's all rainbow like that. Or shiny effect.
Yep.
This rainbowy shield. Alright. Already down to 4 left? I guess so. So I like having the weapon of Crushed Crawfish and, of course, the I think this drill claw. If that's what it's called. It's good to have these 2 weapons before going into this next level. Or tornado fang. What is drill claw? Drill claw? I feel like that's from something. Oh, maybe that's Mario RPG. I think that's one of the attacks that Bowser has. I really enjoyed the remake of that game. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, we've got Neon Tiger here.
Meow. Meow, Maya.
And the mute of this music. I feel like this is a song I've gotten stuck in my head before. And I mean that in a good way, of course. Let's see. Oh no. Come back. Yeah, awkward. Clear out. Oh no. Oh, it went away. Good. Saw a capsule, sure. Oh. Nope. Okay, now I'm messing this up again. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yippee!
Just grab another one. Alright, gonna bring this out again. Just clear all these out. And then here's where you want to use the not drill claw. Tornado fang. Alright, now we get the arm part. This one, like X2, lets you shoot 2 charge shots, but this also has the ability to overlap them where it shoots into one big spread out attack. So sadly this one isn't quite as useful. Yeah, they do the little demonstration for you. So it spreads out like that. Or you could shoot them separately, like charge shots, but they don't have that same kind of hit that they do in the other game, in X2. Because usually the bosses you fight and have invincibility frames, and the 2 shots in X2 kind of bypass that, but you can't do that in this game, so you do have to wait a little bit before firing another shot. Let's see. No. To wait for that to go away? Dang. I thought I remembered somebody killing this boss with Frost Shield pretty quickly. I do kind of like that because of the whole setup with Bit and Bite. There are some occasions where, like, if Bit had shown up on this level, I would have had to fight like 3 bosses in one stage. So I do like boss battles in games, and I just kind of find that really cool. Oh yeah, and the arm part lets me climb ladders much more quickly. Yeah, could probably skip these guys. Oop. Just dash forward. Nobody home. Just keep going. It is pretty fun coming up with all the different rules for how me and my friend play this game. We've also had our times where we faced the bosses without their weaknesses. I do feel like it's a fun challenge. Some of them can be dragged out maybe a little bit because of that, if you go without their weakness, but I do feel like Neon Tiger can be a little bit tricky.
Meow.
I'll just fire that out. Oh, I was kind of locked in place for some reason. It is also the thing about the charge shot is sometimes it does lock you in place. Okay, I don't want you doing it at that range. Yeah, that's his weakness. That's why it's good to have the two weapons, Crush Crawfish for the weakness, and then of course the Tornado Fang for the arm part. It's also interesting when me and my friend, we played with the Game Genie to have the saber early. We actually learned that getting the arm part is actually what makes the saber actually fire out. Like there's a short range version of it where you just swing it, but then there's another upgraded version where it fires out a shot. So I actually didn't know that. I always kind of wondered what the difference was in terms of like, because we played where we didn't have the armor parts and it was kind of short range, and then other times where he actually does fire the shot out. But yeah, I guess it's dependent on actually having the arm part or not, whether it fires out. I do like this weapon, actually. No, Ray Splasher actually is a good weapon that works as a weakness for a number of bosses. There's a part of me that's kind of debating whether I should fight the boss battle against Bite when you fight him in the last stages, or fight the other boss. I feel like usually Bit and Bite, when you spare them and you fight them again in the last stages, they actually have a form where they like fuse together into one machine, and it's like a different kind of boss battle for the last levels. Whoops. So it kind of depends on whether you spare them or not. Typically, I actually like to go for the other boss. Oh yeah, this is one of the capsules. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is where you can actually fight Vile, which is something that I actually really want to do. Because there's, just like in X1 and X2, there's a very special weapon in this game that you can get, but you can only get it if you defeat Vile. Well, not just defeat him, actually. But you actually destroy him early. Because you can fight him here and he escapes, but you can also use his weakness to destroy him early. And then, well, if you don't use his weakness, then you fight him again in the Doppler stages, in the last levels. Here he is. He's got his right armor, once again. His little safety net. You just can't leave home without him. He's pretty easy though, he literally just goes back and forth. I'll admit this is another kind of a detriment to the enjoyment, maybe a little. Just kind of how easy some of these bosses can be. Just back and forth. But at the same time, part of what makes it a chill experience for me. Just to kind of turn my brain off and just have fun.
This is big brain time.
So here he is, out of his little right armor. And actually I could use his Ray Splasher if I wanted to. That's what destroys him. It's possible he might have another weakness too, actually. I think some bosses might actually have that, like more than one weakness. I do like this weapon is almost like a machine gun, the way it fires out. Alright, he's history. He gives his last threat. I will haunt you to the day you die.
No, it cannot be!
Oh, he's not going to be back for another few games or so. More than a few, actually. He actually does come back in Mega Man X8. Haven't played that game in a good number of years. Oh, crouching. So he set this place to blow up. to try and trap X. So of course after you beat him, the place is about to explode, seemingly.
Run away!
Use this. Just keep climbing. Not too bad, really. I do really like the music for this area. It's just too bad it's in this short little section. But yeah, nice little tangent from the main stage. Yep, kind of knew that was coming. Let me see. Use that one. Very useful weapon. Just kind of deletes so many enemies in one hit. As you can see. Alright, here comes a scary part. There's a heart tank I can get over here, but it's just above spikes. Kind of reminds me of how I had to handle this in X2. You get close, but not too close, so I have to try and get it. See if I can do it. Okay, spam jump, jump, jump. There we go.
That was a close one.
And then dash. Wait, hold on. Whoop. Oh, I lost my grip. There's another item I can get up there, but I actually can't get it just yet. It's the armor part, which I really want to have. But not gonna get it on this trip. There is actually a trick to getting it early, but it involves doing a trick that I actually don't have any experience with. Watch out. Lots of crowded spaces here, so... These guys are pretty annoying, the way they do that. Just bring this out again. Oh. Whoops. Oh, still got him.
Yes!
There we go. Alright. So this guy, he's kind of got an odd pattern to him in terms of, like you, actually, I think it's faster to just use the regular buster first, and then halfway through when he changes his attacks, then you want to switch to the weakness. Kind of got this odd pattern. Likes bouncing back and forth. Sometimes he'll shoot that out and suck it in, or he'll just shoot a little energy thing across the ground. Okay, here's when we'll use the weakness. Otherwise he takes a long time just charging up and shooting sparks everywhere. And you actually can't damage him while he's doing that, so... Just kind of a long waiting game that I don't want to play. Just keep drilling him. Bye-bye.
You're fired!
Alright, so I guess there's a couple Mavericks left. Probably a lot of backtracking too. But like I said, I don't really mind the backtracking aspect of this game. And there is a way to do it where you don't have to do as much, but yeah, I know it's not, it does kind of involve a lot of like studying in terms of how you unlock certain weapons, items, things. This is a pretty strong weapon too, actually.
Cool.
Alright, actually I'm going to do something real fast. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just wanted to get a little bit of water. Felt like I was already getting kind of dry, just doing all this talking. Anyway, we got another cool Maverick here. I actually like his stage and design. We've gotten Gravity Beetle. Really like the visuals in this level. I think airport levels are pretty cool in games. Just like train levels, depending, I guess, how they're handled. Although sadly, not like in X1 where you ride that big carrier at the end. Just mostly a storage facility. Yeah, you know, let's do a charged version of this.
Yippee!
Got the cool yo-yo effect. Alright, we're gonna fight Bite. I think there's a good chance he'll show up here. Nope, I guess not.
Sir, not appearing in this film.
Well, he's pretty much guaranteed to show up in the next level then. Alright, I haven't even talked about this aspect. They actually have right armors in this game, but unfortunately you actually have to unlock it first in one of the levels. And it just so happens to be the very last one that I usually go for, which is Blast Hornet's level.
Oh.
But yeah, they have these different right armors you can unlock. I think that F1 is actually for the frog. I guess it's called. Oh, oops, no. I was gonna switch to this. I could skip along, I guess. Just really like the visuals. Doing the fun yo-yo.
Yippee!
Yeah, actually that gap in the ceiling right there is one of the spots where you can summon the right armor. Not a whole lot else going on here. There are some other secret items you can get in this game. Oh.
No!
Like there's the regular armor parts, but there's also a way to upgrade any one of the parts. But you can only get one upgrade. So like there's an enhancement chip for the arm, the helmet, the armor, and the leg, but you can only get one of them. But once again, there's a super secret way where you can get all of them at once. So that's what I'm going to be going for. He just likes to throw these little things around the room and charge at you. Not a whole lot to his attack pattern. Oof. Maybe I should use his weakness.
Now you've unlocked the beast.
Alright, I think at this point he shoots out a big gravity well thing. Yeah. Just let him do that. Whoa, big charge. Oh yeah, and that... I guess this weapon does cancel out his shield.
Now I'm packing!
Pretty cool level though, even if it is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I'll admit, I do think the first X game probably had the most variety in terms of like the ideas and how they were executed. You know, because like an airport level like this, for example, but not having a part where you get on a plane or some flying vehicle, you know, something to really drive that home. But Mega Man X, the first game actually does that pretty well. With that, and then the mine, having the mine carts, things like that, I just think are really neat. Gravity well, I actually don't think that weapon is too useful. But it's a good way to make this next boss a chump, if you want to. Yeah, I mentioned him already, Blast Hornet. Right here. He also has one of the really cool songs in this game.
Cool.
Cool military compound. I just don't think you can go wrong with any of the X games for the Super Nintendo. Aw, didn't charge it in time.
Go!
Can I make it? No. I could have, I just spaced it wrong. Alright, just dashing along. And once again, this game does have the CX4 chip, just like X2. makes use of it in a few spaces, including the introduction or title sequence. And then you have this funny boss here. The Christmas ornament, as I like to call it.
Merry Christmas, everyone! Ho, ho, ho!
Kind of reminds me of that. Alright, we get to unlock the right armor, finally.
Woohoo!
A little bit. So drop down here. Just get those cleared out. And then fire away. Oh, did it wrong. But yeah, there we go. For some reason you have to unlock it that way. And then it becomes available. So I only got this and the frog, which, by the way, I failed to mention that frog right armor actually allows you to use it underwater. It's very specific for that reason. And I think personally it's really not that useful, but still kind of neat that they thought of all these different ideas. My right armor's gone. Somebody stole it. Alright, gonna fight Bite for sure this time. Well, I destroyed Bit, I might as well destroy him too.
I'll destroy you.
I was almost kind of debating whether I should let them live, or just go about it the way I typically have. His weakness, actually, I think there's the Tornado Fang, the Spinning Blade of Crushed Crawfish, and then Ray Splasher can also be used. He literally just dashes back and forth. Once again, this game loves to do that. Who knows though, maybe they had a tight window of release for this game and they just had to do what they had to do. This is really funny here. No, how can this great power can be generated from within such an ancient machine? Just a little bit of English, I guess, as they call it. Well done, X, the victory is yours. Then he's all distinguished. Before he blows up. Goes out with style. He has a respectable exit. Alright. On to the last Maverick. I do like that these X games also kind of change it up a little bit with the villains, because, you know, X2 had the X Hunters, and then this game has Dr. Doppler, seemingly new villain. Of course, if you know the X games, though, then you know that there's a certain somebody who is bound to show up again at some point. But anyway. I do really like Blast Hornet's design. He's just got a cool look to him. I mean, it's supposed to be like Hornet, black and yellow, but also in a way it kind of reminds me of like the Hazard stripes, kind of like the background you see there. So it actually seems kind of fitting that he would be in charge of a military compound. Let's see. He's got a pretty decent pattern, honestly. He's not too bad. Just have to avoid when he shoots out a wave of those enemies. But then this attack, his weakness, just totally makes him into a chump. I almost feel bad for using it. So he just sits there and takes the hit. Then he goes into this phase halfway through where he'll try to target you and shoot out more hornets. Ooh. I don't want to take too many hits. Just try to give him a more respectable battle.
All right.
Yeehaw!
And that's it. All the Mavericks done. Just have a lot of backtracking. I'm most likely going to fast forward all of that so it doesn't drag everything out too much. But I'll stop at least for the more significant items like the armor parts.
No problem.
And then, like I said, there are the super secret capsules for the enhancement chips, which I will be skipping because there's another super secret one where they allow you to get all of the chips at once. So it's actually pretty cool that they did that because, you know, kind of like the first X game had the Hadoken and the second one had the Shoryuken as the super special weapons. This one has a super special weapon that's different from that, but it also has that armor upgrade where you enhance all the parts at once. So it kind of feels like there's two super secret special items you can get in this game. So in this cutscene we learn, it turns out somebody else might be in charge of this whole thing. Most likely it's Sigma. Yeah, he's come back once again. So here we go. We reveal the secret location, of course only after you defeat all the Mavericks. And that's where Dr. Doppler is. So yeah, I'll see you back shortly after I've gotten all the items. Alright, here we go. Coming up to the armor part. So of course this reduces the amount of damage you take. But it also generates a shield around you temporarily. I think I read not only does this reduce your damage, but when the shield appears after you've taken a hit, it reduces it by I think 70%. So that's pretty good. So like that's the demonstration in the shields. If I get hit, then that shows up. So any hit that I take after that within that period will be massively reduced.
You blew it!
Alright, here we go. Finally the last armor part.
Let's go!
We get the helmet. So this one actually generates a map, and it shows you in each of the 8 stages where the secrets can be found. So it's actually pretty useful in that manner, but unfortunately it only appears at the beginning of the stage. So you can't open it anytime you like. Which actually would have been a cool feature. You know, it kind of appears like this. And there would be red dots in the places where there are secrets. So of course there's nothing left to be found here. But yeah. But if you know where to find everything, then it does, once again, kind of, well, it does become useless. Kind of like X2 with the search part for the helmet. But yeah, it does also show you, like, in each of the stages what's left there. So the grayed out text means I've already gotten it. You can see the question marks. They're actually indicating that, oh. Life up here? Oh my gosh, I forgot to get the life here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Probably zoned out from talking. But yeah, and the question marks, I forgot to mention, those are like the enhancement chips, basically, hinting at that. So yeah. Okay, finally. It's very ironic that I talked about not minding the backtracking, and then I ended up talking so much that I forgot to grab some items. So I actually made this take much longer than it should have. I think that's everything though at this point.
You got that right.
Just to be sure, because I don't trust myself at that point. Anyway, yeah. So it does actually require you to have all of the items to get the super secret armor that upgrades all of the parts. So it's not just an OCD thing, me getting everything. Even though I do really like doing that anyway. But I personally don't mind missing out on some items. At least particularly the right armors. Oh my gosh, whoa. Huh. That was weird. I don't know if my eyes deceived me. It almost looked like it immediately jolted down or something. At least I caught it on video though, so... Let's see what happened. I guess it was just moving down normally. Oh, come on. Very awkward. Whoa. Let's not do that again. Just climb on out. Whoop. Oh yeah, there is a small condition besides having all of the items. You also have to be full health, so that's another thing to be careful of. It's okay if you do take damage in the level, it's just be sure that you have full health before you get to the place where the armor is found. So at least I don't have to play perfectly the whole way through. And that mid-boss is trashed pretty easily with that weapon.
Nice.
Zero helps out by destroying the thing that collapses the ceiling.
Thank you.
By the way, if you do call Zero and you happen to die, you actually can never call him back again, so you can lose him permanently. Which is pretty unfortunate. Oh yeah, I took a hit, sure enough. Here's what I gotta do. Come on. Nope. That'll do. Alright, full health. And it dropped down this pit, and here it is. Enter this capsule, Rex. Install this chip to enhance all your parts. Very good. The situation should now be improved. Good luck, X.
Arms installation is completed. Good luck.
Pretty cool.
Yes!
So now we get the legendary gold armor, as it's called, I guess, or maybe has a different name. But anyway, so all the parts now have a significant upgrade or enhancement. For example, the leg part, I can actually double mid-air dash. Great demonstration there. And then, of course, the helmet actually allows me, if I stand perfectly still and just leave it, it'll just automatically refill health one by one. So yeah, and the armor, I think the defense is increased, and then the arm part actually has this, where you can fire charge shots multiple times if you want to. It has its own little energy bar, so you can run out. So here's where you would fight Bit and Bite normally. Again, they actually fuse together into something called Godcar Machine or Nary.
Yep.
It's a name that me and my friend Freezing Ice Kirby have joked about a lot. Just because it's such a mouthful. Oh. Really don't want him grabbing me. Actually kind of have fun fighting this boss, just because he's not really a pushover. The Godcar Machine boss, he can deal a lot of damage, but he can also go down pretty quickly. So I don't have to destroy this cannon, I'm just kind of doing it just for fun. Just to show that he actually does have a different phase to him. Whoops, oh yeah, and those little bots try to fire out. So he likes to flood the room out if you destroy the cannon. Try to be slick.
No!
It's not quite working out there. Oh, and of course that thing eats bullets. Alright. Good combination going on here. Did it at the wrong time. Just keep baiting his claw to go down there. I think I've kind of got a weird pattern going on here. Alright, there. Not too bad.
Okay.
I think it did slightly better last time, because I think I only took one hit. My previous recording that I had to trash. Anyway, yeah. First stage down. There's only a few more stages to go.
Let's go.
Alright, so now this next level. This is where we get the super special weapon. I mentioned it in the previous recording, the one that I had to throw away, but it would have been kind of funny if, like, instead of what you get here, if they had continued the Street Fighter attacks. I can't pronounce the name of the attack, but it's the one where Ryu does the spinning kick. Like, that would have been kind of a funny thing to see X do, if anything. These guys are just annoying. Oh yeah, let's do this. Show the frog armor, or whatever, right armor. This goofy thing. I tend to lose control of this thing quite often though, so... And there's so few occasions where you actually have something like this underwater. But here we go, I press the dash button. Come on, fly. Or swim, I suppose. Try pressing dash a bunch. Alright, well I think I can get out now. Do my double dash. And now here's the part where you want to call 0. So this is the one boss door you can actually go through.
I'm on my way.
They're very slick, just hiding it in this random spot. So I'm going to charge up fully. And hope I don't mess this up. So this mid-boss shows up. Ouch. Oh. Okay, I used the saber. Barely showed the animation. But yeah, once you defeat him, he automatically goes right up to 0. 0 drops to 1 health unit. And then that causes X to show up again. So he's wondering what's going on. What was that explosion? 0, are you okay? Sorry, X, I failed. And so he decides to hand his Z Saber. His Z Saber over to X. So now we have his weapon, and actually it's the most powerful weapon in the game. So after the charge shots, when you glow green, you can do this.
Yippee!
It doesn't destroy bosses in 1 hit, but it pretty much takes them down in 2 hits. So, wait for it. There we go.
That's my boy. You did it, son.
Ooh, I'll just grab that just because. Keep going, keep going. It just looks so cool. And now we've got a long section where we just keep climbing up slowly. Very careful not to touch the spikes. Good old classic Mega Man games where they're just instant death. I always get caught between these two. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty scary dashing across because you might go all the way up to the spikes. Come on. Oh, shoot. Clear him out. Little ways to go. Sit back and relax. Actually, you don't really even need this one. Almost forgot about that. Let's see. Should be able to... Whoops. Oh, thank goodness. Got kind of locked in place for a moment. Was kind of scared I missed my window. Oh yeah, and besides the Z-Saber being powerful, kind of like the special weapons in the first and second X games, thankfully it's not reliant upon you always being full health. So you really can use it at any time. Which is also really nice. So just fire that out, just because... Yeah, I'm just back and forth once again. Ooh. And Saber. Bye-bye. So I would have fought Vile in this level if I hadn't destroyed him early. And he would have another right armor that has different attacks and is more powerful. And that mid-boss also doesn't show up if you don't destroy Vile. So anyway, 2 levels left.
Let's go!
Once again, just like the previous games, got to fight all the bosses again. Thankfully, they can be dealt with pretty quickly with the Saber. So it shouldn't take too long. Here we go. Good old Blizz. Blizzard Buffalo. They also typoed his name in the PlayStation version. During his animated sequence, they say Bilzard, so they switched the L and the I. Saber. Another Saber coming up. Yeah, there we go. Conked him. Honestly, it's kind of fun getting a weapon like this and then going into a level like this where you can just kind of breeze through a lot of these bosses.
Wow!
Though I suppose it might be a little bit ironic going into this boss. I think this boss might actually be a little bit faster with his weakness. So, let me see. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's incorrect. I forgot about the special. I'll just do that. Thought I only had to press the weapon switch twice. Yep, he's just conking himself.
Oh yeah!
Alright, just 6 more to go. Oh yeah. I think this should be Gravity Beetle. See if I can remember which one comes in each of these. I've played this game enough times, I should remember. Alright, get rid of that and saber him. Oh, he's gonna do that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Retired. I just keep doing that. I think I need a glass of water. Yeah, actually that sounds pretty good. I think I'll do that real quick. Alrighty, I'm back. Hopefully I can speak plain English.
Stop babbling, boy!
You'll have to forgive me, I have a California education. Oh yeah, tunnel. I forgot to mention before. Going in. Oh, look at him, he's trying to bait me again. Saber. Oh. And there we go.
You got that right.
Poor guy, he tried his best. Alrighty, I think that's 4 down. I think so. Let's see, this is crushed crawfish, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yep. Good old tactics, just like last time. I'm gonna be shocked after I just did that. Bye-bye.
Yeehaw!
I was almost tempted to use his weakness just to show there's actually something of a trick that I learned you could do, where if you use the charged shot version of his weakness when you hit the ground, then you can actually switch to the X-Buster and just kind of blast him away and keep draining his health. Keep doing it again. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the regular. Oh, that's just what I want him to do. So now he's gonna jump in the middle, and I'm gonna saber him. There we go. It's gonna be quite a time editing this video, because all the parts I'm gonna have to fast forward. Wait. Yeah, okay. Let's go with Neon Tiger. He actually can block the saber, so I do have to be wary of my timing. There he goes again with the funny sound. Oh, whoops. Oh no. Hit me in the middle of my animation. Oh, he's not going to block it from behind, though. There we go. Puts up a pretty good fight. Even if you have something like the saber, it's just kind of funny. I've had times where I've repeatedly used the saber and he just keeps blocking it. Because I keep timing it wrong or something. You also have this thing, by the way, that generates random items. Sometimes they're useful, sometimes not. Come on. I don't really need to do that, but I just want to see. Alright, Blast Hornet. Last one. Alright, charging, and then he's going to shoot out all his little friends. Saber. Keep doing that. Oh, that was cool.
Nice.
It's exploding in my face.
No problem.
Alright, now we finally get to move on to the boss of the stage. Alright, finally you can go through this door. Just remains locked until you clear all of them. Oh. Gonna jump over this guy and go straight in. So here he is. Dr. Doppler. He's just sitting there, or standing there, stroking his chin the whole time. He's been watching us very closely. Of course, he offers me to join him. He's like, "No way, Doc." As a kid, I didn't know Doc was short for doctor. So I was kind of thinking he's... All I could think of was Bugs Bunny. Oh yeah, by the way, that thing just makes him regenerate his health, so if you shoot him while he has that shield up, it's actually not good. Oh, it already... Yeah, look at that. Shoot the other way and then saber him. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that worked.
Nice.
Poor guy. He's trying his best. Even if it was for the wrong cause. But then again, it turns out he was being controlled. You are strong, X, strong enough to defeat Sigma. Doppler, can you talk? And then so on. He tells him about the Sigma virus possessing him, and that drove him to create a new body for Sigma, which is somewhere deep beneath the lab, and that's where we're going for the last level. Alrighty. Got the sinister music. I just really like the atmosphere in this game. If Zero were still with us, he'd show up here. But he isn't, so we have to go it alone.
I'll go it alone from here.
I just think this is really cool with the double air dash. Alright. There he is. We meet again, X. It was easy to corrupt that fool Doppler. And I would have succeeded if you hadn't interfered. If it weren't for you meddling kids, huh? But we are always destined to meet, aren't we, X? Let the eternal struggle begin. For at least a few more games, anyway. Alright, so... just gonna dash up here. Whoops. I think I timed that wrong. But, got plenty of chances here. Just kind of bait him into shooting that wall. Usually he goes Captain America with that shield. Oh yeah, I forgot to fire that out. Yeah, like that. Let's shoot the corner. There we go. Cool. That's pretty much his whole attack pattern. Just keep shooting those fireballs. Kind of a tricky pattern to study, but there's a way to do it. I think maybe the wall behind him might also be a safe spot. So here he is again. Beat his first part, and now we get a second form, which is the final boss.
Now you've unlocked the beast.
Now I'm going to use this. The constant charge shots. Just fire those out. Should get the saber in just a moment. Oh no, I didn't. Maybe like this. There we go. He's toast. Yeah, there it is, X3. However, there is one more thing coming up. And even he's surprised. It seems there's no choice. I'll possess you. So a small escape sequence. You have to be careful because this room fills with lava. Thankfully the lava doesn't instantly kill you, so the real deadly thing you want to look out for is these little ceilings here. You can accidentally get crushed under them. So if you happen to fall down or something, you actually want to jump in the middle of the screen. It's much safer. And just ride the lava up. You actually can do that. But anyway, there it is. Just that small little sequence. And that's it. Consarn it, it's a dead end. Ta-da! There he is. Give up, X. I'll possess your body and rule the whole world. And then suddenly, who shows up here? Oh yeah, and Zero actually would show up here if he were still alive, but since actually he went out, it's actually Dr. Doppler who shows up here instead, who has some kind of vaccine for the Sigma virus. But yeah, that's it. Blows up, and now X is ready to blow dodge. There we go. X3, finally.
Nice.
Hope there's nothing wrong with the video this time. Anyway, I had a lot of fun with this one. Clearly I still had a lot to say about it. I practically talked myself dry. Just seem to have a thing for that once in a while. Good old sunset, exploding fortress. Zero would be standing next to X here. But yeah, that's the end of the game. Many questions still occupy his mind. I missed the first part. Why must humans fight against Reploids? And why must Reploids fight against each other? Just sit there pondering, enjoying the nice soundtrack. As X stares at the burning remnants of Doppler's lab, his body trembles from an unknown sorrow. Keep doing that again. What does fate have in store for me, he wonders. At least several more Capcom titles and then some other spin-off series. But sadly he's not had a new game for a while. He can only hope that someday Dr. Light's plan for him will finally be revealed. Unknown to X, his destiny has already been decided. To save mankind, he must destroy Zero. Ooh, how sad. Yeah, actually there's a bit of the story tying into Zero being the original holder of the virus. But only time will tell when and why. Because it used to be that Zero was actually the one who carried the virus that causes Reploids to go Maverick in the first place. But somehow it got transferred over to Sigma, and that's what makes him kind of the main villain. Yeah, there's kind of a bit of story to it. But it's always kind of vague how it all works. But anyway, that's the end of the game. Get the, not exactly credits, it's more like a cast roll, I guess, for the enemies. These funny names. Would have been nice if they had done kind of like Mario World, where they actually show you like the sprites to show you what each one is named. Here it's just kind of a guessing game what each one is. It is kind of funny too that they decided to do it this way. Because I don't know that there's any place where you can even see any of the credits of the people who worked on this game. I think it's possible it was also a different team that did, well, different from the ones that did the first two X games. I don't know that for sure, but I thought I remembered hearing something like that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. Once again, that's pretty much it for the X games on the Super Nintendo. Had a lot of fun playing these again. And only time will tell what other ideas I might have for any future videos. But for now, it's I've got these three done. I'm pretty happy about that. And, well, I'll figure that out at a later point. I do have some ideas to play around with. I know I mentioned it previously in the other two videos. But yeah. There we go, see? Blast Hornet, and we start to get at least some enemy sprites. Blizzard Buffalo, or the PlayStation version likes to call him Bill Zard.
Wow!
Gravity Beetle. Yeah, not a whole lot else to say during the credits. Just like to sit back and enjoy the music. X has a long way home, I guess. At least they could have done is give him a ride, kind of like in X2. Then I guess this is kind of like a throwback to the first game when he was running. I do kind of wonder if ever they did make a Mega Man X9, like, would they make it like the Super Nintendo games? You know, graphically, kind of like what they did with Mega Man 9, like the NES games. Or would they make something that's more modern? Honestly, I'd be open to either one. I do kind of think Super Nintendo style Mega Man X would be really cool. But honestly, a part of me also wouldn't mind if they tried more like Mega Man X4 style, especially if they had animated cutscenes, because that'd be a really cool way to like have a throwback to that time when they used to do that. It does kind of make me wonder if there are any games today that do that, where they have like the gameplay and then that cuts into like an animated cutscene. Not like you typically have where the game graphics, but like actual animated, hand-drawn cutscenes. Then again, I guess there is that one game that came out recently, or is coming out, called RZ. I think it was styled after those CDI Zelda games, which is really funny. It's really crazy the times we live in, where these old games are getting that kind of prominence, or like games that are obviously inspired from them. It's kind of like I've played Corn Kids 64, which is very much like a Nintendo 64 style platformer. You have other games that are kind of like that too. There they are, X and Zero, Mega Man X, yeah. And you...
I know it was you.
Just throwing that in at the end. But that's it. Once again, thank you if you sat through this. I hope it was enjoyable. And I hope to catch you guys next time. Take care.